All across Virginia, indeed all across the U.S., horses are in trouble. Seizures, kill buyers, abuse, neglect come across our social media accounts every single day. The mission of the Rescue Project is to show the other side. Join me in touring a local rescue who is stepping up to help. You can help by hitting the like button and by sharing this video with your friends. Thank you. So hi, I'm Cindy Smith from Central Virginia Horse Rescue, and I'm here today with Maya Prue of Hope's Legacy. And we are, I'm going to be doing a series on different rescues, the challenges they had getting started, and tours of the rescue. I'm really excited to be talking to Maya because she's like my hero. She was very helpful when we were getting started with resources and advice and guidance, and there are still some things that I am in total envy that she does so much better than we do. So I'm excited to be talking to her and kind of going through some of her challenges that she's had and faced and how they overcame them. Right now, your inspiration was to start the rescue.
Okay. So the rescue is named after Hope, who's my 19-year-old off-the-track thoroughbred, and she's actually currently leased to a therapeutic riding program.
Oh, awesome.
She's a wonderful, wonderful little mare. She was not a rescue, but when I got her, she had not been off the track for very long, and I believe I was her 5th owner in the time since she had left the track. So she was definitely on her way to ending up somewhere bad. She just kind of passed through from one person. Somebody gave her to their farrier, gave her to a client, and she just kept passing around. So she made me kind of realize that I wanted to do rescue on a larger scale. I'd always kind of had one rescue horse at a time, and I just wanted to help more horses. So, what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, he's like, he has a future as Grumpy Donkey.
He does, he does.
He's definitely could be Grumpy Donkey.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So you started out, how long ago?
In 2008.
2008, so 2 years really before CVHR.
Yes.
Which is why you were all fresh in your mind and you were like, yes, start, instead of, no, don't do it. So you started off and you did not have a farm.
We did not. Our very first horses, our very first horses were housed on property that we were borrowing from a neighbor of mine, actually. And we started off with a couple of horses there and then a couple in foster homes. And then we just slowly grew and then leased a couple of farms. But in the first 9 years that the rescue was in operation, we moved 7 times.
7 times?
7 times.
In how many years?
9 years.
Ooh.
Yes. And because we'd lease a farm and the owner would say, oh, this is great, we're thrilled to have you here. We don't plan on making any changes or anything. And then, a year later, they would call me and say, well, we've decided we're going to sell the farm because we're not using it particularly. I'm using it. Don't you fight me. You're not showing your good side.
Oh, I'm watching him like going like this and on Maya's arm. I'm like, don't bite her.
We'll just hold him over there. So back in sort of the end of 2014, we started looking for property to purchase for the rescue. And we put it out there that we were looking, and we looked at everything that was available on the commercial market, and there was just nothing in our price range that really fit our needs. So we put it in our newsletter.
I need this donkey.
Isn't he wonderful?
He's grumpy.
Yes, he is. He's great. Well, he's a grumpy old man. Yes.
So
and then we were contacted by the Merrill family, and they had inherited some property from their parents. I was 6 siblings that had inherited the property. Sorry, I'm used to talking to you, not the camera.
It's okay. No, I was just trying to
get me away
from the donkey.
Out of reach. And they wanted me to come and take a look at the property and see if it might be something we would be interested in. So I did.
There you go.
And back in frame. And we drove around and looked at the parcel, and they sort of outlined what they were thinking about including in it. And I said, you know, that's really wonderful. It's an amazing piece of property, but I have a feeling it's going to be more money than we can afford. And they came back, because our budget, we were looking for property for $500,000 or less.
Set this way. Can y'all see the donkey? He's making all these faces behind her, and he was right behind you, so the camera couldn't see it.
Oh, he's moved now.
There you go. Okay.
So yeah, our price range was about $500,000, and they came back and said, we can't do quite that low, but could you guys do $680,000? And I went to the board and we discussed it, and we're basically like, we're never going to find 172 acres.
Oh my gosh, that's
for
amazing.
that price.
Yeah, that's amazing.
We've got to make this work. And what really made it work is the family financed it for us with 0% interest,
That's
which
great.
was
Yeah.
absolutely incredible.
We had a similar angel who helped us buy the farm.
Yep.
So you started out, and one of the reasons why I wanted to interview you in particular about this is you started out doing a lot of fostering.
Yes.
So a lot of your has been based on foster horses.
Mhm.
How many horses do you have under the Rescues umbrella right now in their direct care?
So right now we have 44.
Okay.
in
And
the
how many of
rescue.
them are on site?
Now I have to do math. I have to go field by field. So we have 3, 6, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
So about half.
Yeah,
A little bit less than
a
half.
little bit less than half. Yep, and then the rest are in foster homes. And they range from people who are fostering donkey
The
temper
comic relief.
tantrums. You know, an older, fairly unadoptable horse that really just needs somewhere to spend the rest of its life.
Right.
We've got one foster. She's actually fostering 11 animals for
Oh my
us right
goodness.
now. Yes, she's a wonderful, wonderful person. Her husband doesn't like it when I call her. so he says we're not allowed to play together because somehow they end up with more horses when they talk to me. Yeah, and she not only fosters them and rehabilitates them, but she also often does a lot of training and all of that stuff with
Oh, that's
them.
amazing.
And
Well, tell me about some of the challenges with working with foster homes.
One of the challenges that I struggle with the most is staying in touch with them, and I occasionally feel like I send the source off to a foster home,
And then they
and
you
then
never talk to them again?
Yes.
I feel like that sometimes too.
I'll realize all of a sudden I haven't checked in with them in 3 months, and I
Right.
should probably make sure everything is okay. And but we screen our foster homes very carefully. They go through the same process as our adoptions do.
Right. Yeah, ours do too. So.
Yeah, so I feel very comfortable with all of our foster homes if I don't talk to them for a month or two.
So do
The
you
horse is
use
okay.
kind of a foster to adoption program, and how does that work for you?
Every once in a while we end up with fosters adopting, but it's not a program that we sort of promote.
So
really.
I guess what I'm saying is your adoptable horses are fostered.
Some. Yeah.
Okay. How does that work? Are they an active partnership in finding homes for them, or
It kind of
you
depends
more-
on the foster.
More responsible for that?
Yeah, some of the fosters are pretty active, and they'll do a lot of posting photos of the horse, and then others don't want as active a role, so we do all of that, and we arrange the going and visiting with potential adopters and stuff like that.
That's always been my challenge. Is all of our foster homes want to be, like really far away,
Yeah,
and so it's hard for me.
it's tough. It's definitely tough.
So do you tend to? I know you said somebody had 11.
Yeah.
Is that one of your more active?
Yes, she's very active. Yeah, she posts photos of our horses regularly.
That helps.
Many of the horses, even if the plan is just that she's going to rehab them and then they would transition to here, many of them end up getting adopted from her facility before they ever have to come back to our property,
Right.
which is
That's awesome.
wonderful.
You're so cute. You're just so stinking cute. Lumpy donkey.
He has a pending adoption, we believe.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So I can't have him. I'm so sorry. um, so part of this series is for donors.
Mm-hmm.
So we want really to introduce donors to your rescue.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's important. But also we want to kind of speak to people who are thinking about starting a rescue. And no, don't say don't do it. That's always the first thing
far
I do
away.
too. Talk a little bit about some of the challenges you have faced. What do you think the biggest challenge other than the farm has been?
The overwhelming need. There are so many horses that need someplace to go. And I say no many, many times a week. I get
Right.
calls and emails from people, and they're horses that really legitimately need someplace safe to go. You know, the owner is going into a nursing home and can't care for them anymore, or lost a job and can't
Right.
care for them, and they're horses that really do need a place. It's not just a sort of, hey, my horse is getting old, it's inconvenient, I want to get a new younger one.
Right.
We do get those calls too, and
Right.
they're pretty much an automatic no, because
We
our
can
job
only do
is
so
not to-
much,
yes,
and our
yes.
job is we are not retirement homes.
Yep, there
for
are
old
places to do
horses.
that.
Yes.
Yep, but that's not our job. But having to tell these people, you know, I'm so sorry that you're going through this, and you're having to make this decision to part with a, you know, well-loved family member, but I can't help you because we are full.
Right.
And it's not always that we're even physically full, but I have to really balance how many horses we have in the rescue with how much money we have in our checking account.
Right.
And, you know, yes, I can feed 44 horses for a while, but if we don't get some adopted out, and if donations slow down and things, money
Right.
gets
So
tight.
where
really
do
quick.
the majority of your horses come from?
Lately, animal control. Yeah, a lot of our horses have been coming from animal control cases. Of course, we just took those ones in from Orange County.
Right.
And we get a lot of horses where they're technically owner surrendered, but it's owner surrendered
Through animal
through
control.
animal control.
Right.
You know, animal control goes into a situation that's about to become critical, and we work with them and we work with the owner. It's one of our
Which is
priorities.
the way it should work. You should
Yeah.
not have to send people to jail and
If
have
it's-
dead horses. And,
Yes.
you know, hopefully we can nip that in the bud before it gets to that point,
Yes.
and the owners are reasonable, and,
Yeah.
you know, they will either change things, which is the preference.
Yeah.
Or, you know, realize that they're in over their head and relinquish things. We're still going.
Okay. Just wanted to check. I saw the screen went black.
Yeah. Apparently I hit something and it was asking me if it was going to sleep.
Yeah, because a lot of the cases that animal control deals with, it's simply lack of education or lack of resources.
Right.
And if there's a way to help people in those situations where it's not intentional cruelty.
Right. And we have dealt with
let's-
some of those too.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we've worked together on a couple of cases.
On many.
That were
That,
that went into the realm of they needed to be in jail.
yeah. And if they weren't intentional, they were at least knowingly
Yes.
negligent.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a huge difference in those.
Yep.
So, what are some of the benefits?
Getting to watch these horses come in, they're dull, they're depressed, they aren't interested in anything, and just watch as they gain weight and get more human interaction that is good human interaction, watch them just kind of blossom and turn into these really fun, happy animals.
Have you found it harder as the years have gone on to find homes for horses?
It's definitely harder to find homes for companion horses. I think part of it is there are so many rideable horses out there for either giveaway or really cheap,
Right.
that if people need a companion, they're looking for something that can be ridden, because that's an option now. It
Right.
used to be if you needed a companion, you were just going to get something that couldn't be ridden and needed to live out in a field because a riding horse was pretty expensive. And
Right, and now it's not that.
now, so I'm definitely finding it harder to place the unsound companion horses and things like that. The horses that are rideable, we're still doing pretty well on placing those ones. Though if they have any health issues or anything, like we have a mare that's a lovely trail horse, hates ring work with a passion, would never ever send her to a home where she was going to be forced to go to a ring.
Right.
But she loves to trail ride. That's her thing. But she has heaves, and she's on daily medication for it, and that's about $100 a month. So
That makes it harder.
we don't have anybody interested in adopting her, despite the fact she's a lovely registered quarter horse. Sweet, sweet mare, most of the time.
But she is a mare.
She is a mare, and she's a chestnut mare.
Ah,
And
so that,
she lives up to a few of those stereotypes. So,
right.
yep. Tank in the back of it.
So running water lines is definitely something that you have a need for.
Yeah, that's in our future plan.
Gotcha. I have hauled water daily to horses. It's not fun.
It is not. So this is Cricket.
So I see that your new barns are full
Yeah.
before you even get them.
Yes. Yes.
So is this the new quarantine barn or?
This is our medical emergency barn.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and Cricket is actually in here not because she has a medical emergency. Cricket is in here because Cricket doesn't like to be caught.
We have some of those.
In fact, she was adopted out and had to be returned because she got out, and it took them 7 hours to be able to retrieve her.
Oh, Cricket.
And she took 2 other horses with her on her
On her
little
jaunt.
expedition. And then Dora is on stall rest because she has an injury. Hi, sweet. So yeah, this was going to be medical emergencies, quarantines, stuff like that, and then Miss Thing managed to slice her hoof and has now been on stall rest. October, November, December.
I'm trying to get back up a little bit so I can get her in the picture.
Yeah, she's been on stall rest for almost 5 months now.
Oh my goodness.
She gets to go out for a little bit every day, but not much. But hopefully another month or 2 and she'll be able to go back out in the field.
Awesome.
That's sweet.
She's super. So is this 2 stalls and a feed
2
room?
stalls and yeah.
That's really nice.
Which we use. It's got all of our, it's not super organized. We're working on that. It's getting there. But this is sort of medical supplies, and if you need vet wrap, this is where it is.
So I'm seeing lots of round pen panels.
So these are kind of like holding grooming stalls,
Okay.
basically. We have a team of volunteers called our Equine Enrichment Program. And their goal, we're not quite there yet, but their goal for this year is to get to the point where every horse on the property is handled and worked with every day. Even
Awesome.
if it's just groomed or taken for a short walk or something.
Right.
And that team is responsible when we get new horses in. As soon as they're done with quarantine, they go in and they assess every horse. And they have a checklist of things like, is it easy to put a halter on it? Does it lead? Does it tie? Can you pick its feet? All of those just sort of basic things that horses
Is
need
this
to
the one
know.
through the right horse?
No, this is actually a
okay.
program that a couple of our volunteers put together.
Gotcha.
And then they go from the assessment of what the horse can do, and then they lay out a plan of what they want the horse to be able to do and how to get it to that point. So yeah, these little pens are set up so if they bring 3 horses out of a field, since our stalls are full,
Right.
they can stick
So-
them in the little round pen stalls.
And you don't have an actual barn here.
Not yet. Not yet.
When you get it, where's it going to go?
I will show you that. It's going to be up on. Yeah, and we don't have a riding ring yet either. That's another thing that we are going to have someday. But we did.
It's on your wish list.
It is. It is. But we do have the round pen here, and it's a big round pen. So
And a hay barn?
hay barn. We have a hay barn for square bales. We don't have a hay barn for round bales yet. But once again, we will get there.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes time
Yes, and money.
and money, mostly money.
The money is the big thing.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys, well, I do know. So I'm looking up. So this is where we're standing on top of the world here. Just to give you an idea of what this looks like up here. So you want to tell us kind of about this part of the property?
Sure. So right here we have 44 acres that were timbered about a year and a half ago. It had been planted in pines, and part of the deal with the family when we purchased the property was that they would be able to timber this portion one more time. So rather than replanting, we're actually planning on converting this into pasture, because then we'll have another 44 acres of pasture,
right?
Which we can definitely use. This area up here is also where eventually our barn and our riding ring are going to go.
So point at it, and I'll.
So I think the barn is going to try and go somewhere right in here.
Okay.
We do need to talk to a
Soil
landscape architect, and somebody who is really good with runoff and erosion and site planning and stuff like that, to see if what we have in our heads actually translates into something feasible.
So is the only way up here from the way we came?
Yes.
Whew. Yeah. I will videotape that on the way down.
It's exciting.
Okay, so you need like a quarry full of gravel.
We need a lot of gravel. I can't remember. Rosie actually measured the whole thing and figured out how many tons of gravel we need, and I don't have that number in my head right now offhand, but
it's a lot.
A lot of gravel.
Right.
It is, yes, like you said, a quarry
right
of gravel. And then the riding ring is looking to go sort of on the far edge of that kind of clear space.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So this.
You will not be having horse shows up here.
No.
I'm just going to tell you, it's a long way up here, folks, but it's gorgeous once you get up here. It is really pretty. So I don't know if the camera is really going to give you a really good idea of how big this is, but it goes down this hill and then up that hill, and then it looks like over that hill.
Yep.
And then over here, it's as far as the eye can see, and down the hill. And then over here again, down the hill, and it's where we were filming earlier is actually that way across all of this, and then down the hill. So it's a lot of land.
It is. It's going to be a huge project to turn all of this into pasture and to get it fenced and functional.
Right.
In the meantime, on May 3rd, you can run through it, because we have a 5K
awesome
trail run.
Hopefully we will have less rain.
That would be nice, because otherwise it's a 5K mud run.
Right? I'm thinking that I would not be running up these hills, but I might be able to walk up them, maybe.
We do actually have a lot of people who come and walk instead of running.
So Maya is showing a horse to some folks. So I thought I would come out here. This is one of the pastures. One of the things that we hope to do with, he's so cute. We hope to do with this series is kind of let people see the rescue and the rescue horses. We ask that if I'm going to come and do a tour that all of the horse areas be open for filming, unless unless there's a really good reason. Like sometimes you have seizure horses that can't have their pictures on, but still we want to have the majority of the rescue open for people to look at. And as you can see, so hello pretty boy. This is really hilly. And their run-in shed is up there, and their hay shed is up there, but it's really super pretty here.
See you later.
So this is one of the other paddocks. I don't think there's anybody in here right now. As you can see, it's really muddy. But I will tell you, to be fair, there is not a place in Virginia right now that is not really muddy. It's just the strangest weather we've had this year. This is their little paddock. And then just to give you some idea of distance, there's the tarpons over there. Donkey eyes.
They look so pleading. That's Punk. That's our other barn.
Oh. So is this Donkey?
So this is Donkey.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So this one here.
And this is Dolly. And Dolly is our other permanent resident donkey.
They're so flippin' cute.
Aren't they adorable?
Yes. Hey, Donkey.
He's
Donkey
our-
is from Orange County.
From the Peaceable Farm case.
From the Peaceable Farm case.
And he is our mascot and ambassador, and he goes and does meet and greets, and
He's so stinking cute.
he is, and he knows it. Yes, you do know it, don't you? You do. Hi.
And then this gorgeous feller back here.
So that lovely thing is Minx. Minx is a teenaged Tennessee Walker who was working on trying to founder off of hay.
Ah.
And then May is a little Morgan Cross mare, who also is prone to founder, which is why the two of them live in a small paddock with zero grass and no round bale, because we have to restrict even their hay access.
Gotcha.
Minx is the only horse I've ever met who actually could come close to foundering off of hay.
Wow.
It's a pretty impressive talent.
Yeah. Look at the mountains in the background. I just love it up here.
Yeah.
So this is Punk. Punk lives here at the rescue at Hope's Legacy. All right, so everything's new, which is really nice, because there really wasn't anything but the old barn down here.
Correct. Yep, and that is actually getting dismantled.
So let me see if I
Gentleman
can.
who restores old barns has purchased the lumber from us.
Oh, that's awesome.
After that is down, then we are going to clean up the location and build a run-in shed that it's going to be one run-in shed is going to serve 3 fields. So it's going to be one big shed with then center walls dividing it.
Gotcha. Kind of like the one we have that only serves one field. Well, 2 actually, 2
Yeah.
paddocks.
Yep.
And at one time we had 3, but build the walls high, because otherwise they knock them down to get to the other horses.
Yes. And pick at each other.
Yes.
So this is the hay side of the
Awesome.
barn. You'll notice we don't have any electricity up here yet. That is one of the things on our 2020 wish list.
Gotcha. So
Is-
it makes feeding in the evening time.
Really fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
during the winter.
In the wintertime, it's a bit of an adventure, to say the least.
Pretty hay though.
Yeah. Yep, the stuff up front is the stuff that the gentleman did the fundraiser for us to help with the Orange County horses that just came in, and then the stuff in the back is stuff that we already had in here.
Awesome.
And now that we have the house down the hill that we use as a volunteer center and storage and everything, a lot of the stuff that's stored up here is going to be going down there. And this will open up and be really just hay.
Cool.
So, yeah. And cat house.
Right?
And then on
So this is
side-
really cool up here.
This is the feed side. So this is where we store all of our grain. We have our feed chart, hay chart, all of that good stuff. And every horse has their own bucket with their own
Do you
name
soak
on
all
it.
your feed?
Not all of it, but a lot of it. And of course, to do that, you have to take it down to the house because that's the only
So I
place
love
where we
this
have.
idea.
So we stole this idea from Day's End.
Yes. We
And-
did something similar
Yes. Oops.
when we went up. And of course,